Hello, my friend. I'm glad you're here again. Before we begin, take a slow breath in and let it go. Let the rhythm of your breathing soften the edges of the day. Whatever you've been carrying, you can set it down for now. This moment doesn't need anything from you, just your presence. Today's question is one many of us know too well. Why do we keep comparing our path to others, even when we know every life unfolds at its own pace? You tell yourself you shouldn't. You remind yourself that everyone's story is different, that what you see online or from afar is only the surface. And still, some part of you looks over the fence, at a friend's success, a colleague's ease, a stranger's happiness, and wonders, am I behind? Am I enough? Comparison sneaks in quietly. It can happen while scrolling through your phone, or listening to someone talk about their plans, or seeing an old classmate seem to have figured it out. Suddenly, the steady rhythm of your own life feels offbeat. Your achievements feel smaller, your pace feels slower, and even if you know better, it's hard to shake that quiet ache of inadequacy. But comparison isn't really about them, it's about our relationship to ourselves. When we compare, we're not measuring others, we're trying to locate our own worth. Let me tell you a story. There was a man who worked for years at a job he didn't love, but that paid the bills. One night, he met an old friend who had started a small business. She seemed fulfilled, free, full of purpose. When he went home, he couldn't sleep. He kept thinking, she's doing what she loves. I'm just existing. But what he didn't see was the years she'd spent doubting herself, the late nights, the fear of failure. She later told him, "When I looked at you that night, I thought you had everything figured out." Two people standing in the same room, both looking at each other's lives as though they were missing something. That's how comparison works. It distorts, it blinds, it creates longing where there might otherwise be peace. Sometimes we compare because we've lost sight of our own definition of success. We've absorbed so many outside expectations that we forget what truly matters to us. We chase what looks impressive rather than what feels honest. And when our lives don't match the timeline or the image we've internalized, we start to think we've failed. But success isn't a race, it's a rhythm, and every rhythm sounds different. The tree that blooms in early spring isn't more beautiful than the one that flowers in late summer. The one that takes longer simply needed more time, more light, more quiet before it could open. We understand this in nature, but when it comes to ourselves, we forget. I once met a young woman who struggled deeply with this. She told me she felt constantly behind her friends, in relationships, in career, in confidence. She said, "I feel like everyone else is moving forward while I'm standing still." When we talked more, I asked her what she was actually doing with her time. She hesitated and said, "Honestly, I've been taking care of my sick mother." She looked down, almost embarrassed, as if compassion didn't count as progress. That's what comparison can do. It makes us undervalue what's invisible but deeply meaningful. We compare public milestones to private sacrifices, forgetting they're not the same language. You see, comparison is seductive because it gives the illusion of clarity. It tells us where we stand. It lets us measure our worth in visible metrics, money, followers, milestones. But the truth is, no one's path is linear. Everyone's story is full of pauses, wrong turns, quiet rebuilds, invisible victories. And when you're in the middle of your becoming, it's easy to think everyone else is ahead, simply because you can't see their middle, only their highlight. There's another layer to this, though. Sometimes we compare because we've lost connection to our own pace. We're moving according to obligation, not intuition. And when we do that, we naturally look outward, because we've stopped trusting inward. Comparison thrives where self-trust is weak. When you no longer know what your path should feel like, you start copying others just to find direction. But copying doesn't create meaning, it creates noise. And you'll always feel out of tune in a life built on someone else's rhythm. There was a potter once, living in a small coastal town. He made simple clay bowls, all by hand. A friend encouraged him to expand, to open a shop, to grow. He tried. He started producing more, faster, and selling online. The sales increased, but his joy vanished. He told me later, "I realized I was chasing numbers, not craft." So he stopped. He went back to his small workshop, the ocean outside his window, and made what he loved. He said, "I'd rather make one bowl that feels true than 100 that feel empty." That was his success, and it didn't look like anyone else's. Comparison whispers that there's a single right pace, a single shape of happiness, but there isn't. There's only your pace, the one your life can actually sustain. And maybe the deeper reason we compare is because we fear being forgotten. We see others celebrated, chosen, visible, and we wonder if we matter too. Comparison often hides loneliness. It's our way of saying, "Does anyone see me? Am I enough to be remembered?" But worth doesn't come from applause. It comes from alignment, from living a life that feels like yours, even if no one else is watching. If you're caught in comparison right now, here's something small you can try. Close your eyes for a moment and ask yourself, what am I already proud of that no one else knows? Maybe it's how you've kept going through quiet heartbreak. Maybe it's the patience you've shown, the kindness no one thanked you for, the strength it took just to get out of bed some mornings. Those are not lesser things. They're the foundation of your becoming. You are not late. You are not behind. You are unfolding exactly as you should. And your pace, your shape, your timing, they belong to you. There's a quiet relief that comes when you stop competing with the horizon. You start noticing the small, good details of your own path, the scent of your morning, the way you're learning, the people who truly see you. And in that noticing, you begin to trust your steps again. Remember, my friend, someone, somewhere, might be comparing themselves to you right now, thinking you have what they lack. We're all mirrors for each other's longing. The way out of comparison isn't to prove your worth. It's to return to what you value most and live from there. So let's take one last breath together, in and out. Let the pressure to catch up dissolve. Your life isn't waiting to start when you arrive. It's already happening right here in the rhythm of your own becoming. Thank you for being here, for giving yourself this moment to reflect. Stay gentle, stay curious, and stay kind. And if this question spoke to you, continue your journey with us on Yarven's Questions. More stories, more reflections, and more quiet truths are waiting for you. Take care, my friend. Until next time.